am.
Ian Allen, we are live. It's happened.
We are.
We
Greetings, friends, and
Countrymen.
welcome to another Very Vast Opinions live stream. Thomas is broadcasting again live from Old Trafford. I am from an undisclosed bunker somewhere in the world. Who's playing today, Thomas?
Hull City are playing against Oxford United?
Don't say it like you don't know. Of course it's Oxford United. One bit of good news to bring you already is I didn't check this score in a while, and the last time I checked it, the unnamed football club were winning 1-0. They're now 3-1 down to Gillingham. A remarkable turnaround in that game. I think the Swindon fans will be going somewhat potty, we could say.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty angry about the situation, I would imagine.
But we will get to team news in just a second. There are some changes in the Oxford United lineup, and we'll go over all of that in just a bit. But just welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Hope you're happy. If you please put as many comments down below as you like and interact with us all the way through, that would be absolutely great. First things first, if you could just hit the like button on the stream, that would be great. That helps us get out to more people, and it's amazing what that tiny little clicking of the like button does to help a video. So if you could do that, that would be fantastic. Other than that, I don't have any more grandstanding and hot dogging to do. I'm sure we'll do more as the stream goes on. But if you haven't checked out the preview video we did for this game, you should go and check that out. You still got time before kickoff, just about. And so go check that one out. But I think it's time to check out some team news. And
yeah, we will.
Ringing in the changes from Derby Day victory is Carl Robinson. We have, starting with Stevens in goal, Ruffles at left back, Atkinson and Moore. No surprises there. He's gone with Ford at right back. And the reason he's gone for Ford at right back is because he's playing Jamie Hansen as a defensive midfielder. Looks like Alex Goran is out with a precautionary injury. And I know Tom's got some strong feelings about that, which he'll go over in a second. Brannigan and the returning Elliot Lee, which is good news, playing in centre midfield. Mark Sykes up on the right. Mide Shadipo up on the left, so he got overcome a little knock as well, as did Brannigan. And Daniel Adjington III as the striker instead of Matt Taylor. Huge opportunity for Adji, and good to see him starting. I mean, I know we didn't think he should start, but I'm happy. I'm always happy to see Dan Adji in an Oxford United 11. So, interesting lineup. I can't help but feel this game feels like a bit of a free hit, so I'm not that nervous about it. But Tom, what are your thoughts on this Oxford lineup?
I'm just a little bit confused by the fact that he's really good at squad rotation. That is clearly a strength that Carl Robinson has. He's actually quite good at rotating players in and out, but he seems to, in big games, rotate his big players out of the team. And we saw it when he rotated Shadipo, who was in white hot form against Doncaster. Rotates him out the squad, and he hasn't been the same player since then. And I wonder, like, why do you not play your best players? Why don't you play Goran and just tell him
that does seem some logical things,
somebody at the beginning of the game, pick up that yellow.
He could play against Doncaster, he could get booked in that one, and then he's out for the next 2 games after that. So that 2-game ban is inevitable. He will get it at some point. So yeah, I mean, but again, you don't know how. I don't know if Alex Goran's actually on the bench. He 100%. Might be, but you would say if he's fit enough to be on the bench, why is he not starting the game? I will just try and find that information out.
While you're doing that, we have team news for Hull. They are unchanged since their last match. Keane Lewis Potter, who we highlighted last time. Callum Elder, who I believe is a marauding Australian left back. Ian, have I said that one before? Matt Ingram's in goal. Lewis Hoyle deputising as captain for, obviously, the injured captain who's out. And George Honeyman is the player that I think everyone's going to be looking for to kind of run the game for them. And of course,
the evergreen Gavin White. Yeah, and that's why we could have played Goran. Just say, take Gavin White out in the first minute of the game. Take him out round the knees. Plead the old Vinnie Jones case of don't get booked in the first 5 minutes. And it's we could have got away with it then, but no, Alex, Gavin White, fantastic player. It's going to be good to see him play, but it could be quite devastating if he has a good game today. And Alex Rodriguez-Goran is on the bench indeed. Subs for Oxford are Grayson, Barker, Goran, Kelly, Robbie Hall, who you might as well just not pick him because he's never going to play him in a million years, and Matthew Taylor. So, not really any surprises there. But, yeah, it's a strong whole lineup, isn't it? I mean, McGuinness is on the bench, but he's just coming back from injury. So he's like maybe the main guy you would say could be in the starting lineup, but I don't think he's 100% fit. And but tough game, Tom. You still think it's going to be 3-0 to Hull?
Yeah, I think Carl Robinson's partially phoned this in. I don't think Hansen's going to have a huge grasp on this in centre midfield, but I could be surprised. Oxford could go and win 4-1, and we could be totally unsurprised by the result because that's what League One's like this year, isn't it? It's actually nuts.
I think every club has had that batshit crazy game where they've just like upset the form book, or they've lost to a side they shouldn't have lost to, and we haven't. I'd say probably the only shocking side we've lost to is Swindon. I know I shouldn't say the name, but I needed to make the point. But that's probably like the only side down the bottom of the league that we've lost to. All the other sides have been sides near the top. Maybe Gillingham as well. But Gillingham away is not an easy fixture.
No.
So maybe this is our turn to throw a surprise in the mix. But for me, I mean, Oxford's fixtures, and I talked about this on the video, we've got a decent run of games at the end of the season. We've got 8 winnable games at the back end of this season. Yeah. So I am looking at this one as a bit of a free hit. And I know I shouldn't, and I'm not as nervous as maybe I would be if this was like an all or not, a much more pivotal game in the season. I just see this one as being a bit of like, we're not really expecting to get anything. If we play well, but we lose, I will take it on the chin and move on quite quickly.
I would like goals in this fixture, though. I'm really sick of 0-0 draws. I'm finding it hard to be motivated through the second half of these games where it feels like both sides are playing for the game to just end as soon as possible.
You just don't get a lot of goals in Oxford games at the moment, do you? No. Either side. Just we're pretty good at stopping the opposition, and we're just crap at sticking the ball in the back of the net. So hasn't made for a great blend of entertainment as of late. So you'd have to make deal with our improv and vamping and time skills. Yeah. And Jack Stevens providing little moments of magic to keep us all entertained. But as always, I will say this again when the game starts. I will be watching the game on iFollow. I assume majority of you in here will be doing the same.
I'm at the ground right now.
Thomas is not watching the game. He is following every other game happening in Planet Football Land around the world. He's got it. He is like Oracle, if you're familiar with who that character is. And he is like an information sponge.
Yeah. And your first bit of sponge information is that Leon Goretzka scored for Bayern and Kelsey is their beating Werder Bremen.
Okay.
Who would have thought it? Right. Now, very quickly, we are going to say hello to our Patreon subscribers first. So, hello, Matthew Bowden. Good to have you on here. Hello. Oh, God. Matt Urankin, Grandstand Bettors. It's good to see you. Everybody, if you're interested in betting, go to Grandstand Bettors. Go to their website. Go to their YouTube. They give out tons of free clips. They're freaking awesome. They're also like our biggest supporters. So thank you. PJ Simpson doesn't look like he's here yet, but PJ, if you are, great. Hi. And Pessimistic Brother Alan is on. Hello, Pessimistic Brother Alan.
He's always there. He's always lurking in the shadows.
I'm also going to give a quick shout out to, as always, William Golder's incredibly good names and he's still our sheep, mammals, or reptiles, who says that he's also used Skinned Him on Toast twice this week.
Nice. It's good. Yeah. It's good that that's getting out there and around. Yeah. There is also another thing that I noticed from watching one of the other live streams back. I know that's pretty sad. I don't have a life. But last week we did have some audio problems, and Tom had to dip out a couple of times to fix it. I'm not watching the chat. I don't see it. Only Tom sees the chat, so there's no point putting messages to me like, Ian, the audio's gone. Ian, the audio's gone. I'm not
Tell me.
And I know it's kind of annoying if I'm the only one on it and Tom was silent for a bit, but I know there was some feedback. So hopefully it'll all be good today and that won't be an issue. But just remember, I'm not watching the chat.
No, he also doesn't like any of you. He doesn't even like me. I don't know why we're.
You know, that is reason number one, but reason number two was it seemed to fuck up when we were both on there looking at it. So we've decided to keep it to you.
The Gills have officially beaten Swindon, by the way, so they're 3-1. Swindon are not looking good right now, are they? They are.
I mean, from what I read from the Swindon live feed, was they were playing quite well in the first half, and they scored a really good goal through Brett Pittman, and they were all very content. But that has fallen apart in the second half, and that is a shocking loss for them. A really good win for Gillingham, and that's got to put them right back in playoff contention now.
Yeah, I mean, Gillingham have been weird though, haven't they? They keep getting up there, and the minute you and I start backing them to win games, they'll go and lose like 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah,
it's been very hard to back them with any sort of consistency.
Well, I mean, they've played 35 games played for Gillingham, so they've played a few more than most.
Yeah.
50 points, so only 2 points off the playoffs. Those playing more games might be a bit of a benefit, because you're going to get more free time at some point, where everybody else who's got games to play might have to have a situation where they play 3 games in a week.
Yeah.
Because there's just no space. There's no space left in the fixture list.
The fixtures right now are brutal, aren't they? Ian,
yes.
Yet again, 3 o'clock kickoff, Crystal Palace versus West Brom. West Brom are the 3 o'clock kickoff every week on a Saturday. What the hell?
Is that on BBC?
Is it on BBC?
I don't know. I'm just going to check now.
We'll find out if it is.
It's on Sky. It's on Sky.
Okay.
I just know sometimes BBC get games and they're always like shit games.
Yeah. Yeah, they always get like, they get like, 10 matches a year, and it's almost always garbage versus garbage.
I mean, it's amazing that they get 10 matches a year. I mean, it's good that they get any, but so I shouldn't really complain. But they do seem to get the kind of those sort of games. They do seem to get the Palace versus West Brom kind of matches.
I really enjoyed European football this week. I don't know about you, but the Premier League is starting to feel very grindy now, and there doesn't feel like there's a ton of goals going in. And it was really fun to watch European sides just like really trying to batter each other. Like that Juve game was incredible.
Yeah, no, I thought that game was great. I thought the Dortmund game was pretty good. And Barcelona PSG, even that one had a lot of excitement in it, and
it did.
Probably the game with the least excitement was the game involving the English side, where Liverpool won quite comfortably.
Yeah, kind of walked to it, didn't they? Are Oxford wearing white today?
I don't know. It will be determined. I have a feeling they might be, because they wore white against Swindon, and the reason they wore white was because Swindon's goalkeeper wears yellow, and they refused to change his top. So Oxford have to wear what? No, seriously, they didn't change. They asked if they could change his goalie top, so So could wear yellow, and they refused it. So Oxford had to wear white. But wearing white is literally plays into Carl Robinson's hands. They did talk about it again on the build up to the build up to this game in Carl Robinson's interview, but he didn't mention anything about wearing white making the players look bigger, which was disappointing. I think I would have. They are wearing white. Oh my lord! Look at them.
It's a win. It's a win. They're gonna win.
It is like 10 Herculean men walking out onto that field, and Jack Stevens looks like a tiny midget compared to all the other Oxford players. They look enormous.
I bet they look like gods. Absolute gods.
Wow.
Very quickly, let me say that I will do my best to cover comments, but if you really want a comment covered, please do super chat. Super chat's like £1. I don't care. It'll highlight your comment. And let me say that Kit Mainston has just said he can't wait till non-COVID times, and the majority of the 92 are back to 3 p.m. kickoffs. And Ian, I think you have an opinion on this, and you don't think that's going to happen, do you?
Sorry, what it will all be 3 p.m. kickoffs?
Yeah.
In the Premier League?
Well, he said the 92, which I believe includes the Premier League, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure the Premier League will go back to. I think they will have 3 o'clock games, but I think there will always be a live game now at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think they will broadcast a game live now at 3, and they will. I think they've already said they're going to keep that plan to have a Saturday night game has been around for a while.
Yeah.
So I just don't see many games kicking off at 3 o'clock in the Premier League anymore. It's going to be. I think look, fans are still going to go because we've seen like that we all miss it. We all miss watching a game live. We all miss the atmosphere. When you watch old games when there is a crowd, it looks incredible. And we all want to get back to that. So you're not going to lose out from fans not going to the ground. And I think that they know they can. There's not going to be there's not going to be a resistance to broadcasting a game at 3:00, which was never the case before. But it might not be the case. That's just my very biased opinion. Cheap plug for the channel. I did the name of the movie in the movie.
Wow, Ian, you are like mad good at this, like commentating. Like
Superman for the quest piece.
Superman 4, a man in a wheelchair.
That's
right.
So harsh.
Have they kicked off yet?
They've just kicked off. 100% possession for Hull so far. As they bomb it long, it's no longer 100% possession for Hull. It's
so close. So close.
So far, so good. After 10 seconds.
Oh, Ian, you'll enjoy this. Wolfsburg have just taken the lead against Schalke because Mustafi scored an own goal.
Oh, Lord. Right. Long ball in behind. Agi's got half a chance here. Has a shot. Keeper has to palm it away. I mean, it was a very, very speculative effort, which Agi did a good job to work the chance, but it was unlikely he was going to score from there unless it was a worldie, and it was quite an easy save for Ingram to make. And Oxford still have possession back in their own half, but encouraging sign early for Agi there. And worrying sign is Stevens just let the ball roll under his foot, and luckily it wasn't rolling at any pace, so it didn't cause any trouble. But hopefully that's not that sign of things to come. But if Agi can cause trouble like that, then we could be in for a good afternoon.
Be great thing to get Agi in amongst the goals today.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of thing Oxford need as well, just to kind of get them into the game as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So they're not like on the back foot for a long time. And again, that's the benefit of playing Agi, isn't it? You can play long balls and play balls in behind to the channel, and he can get onto them with his pace. Whereas Taylor, you don't really have that option.
Ian, also that is a terrible own goal. We have our first goal in the League One. Troy, the boy parrot, has scored for Ipswich Town. They're now leading Plymouth 1-0, 4 minutes in.
Okay, Shadipo's just been fouled in the Oxford half. It's a free kick to Oxford. That looked like a very deliberate tactic to not let him run with the ball. Troy Parrott. Wow.
Yeah, I know. He's finally coming good.
Goal for Ipswich.
I think that is. I haven't ever seen that he scored one, and obviously he hadn't scored one when we did our match preview when they played Oxford.
He might have scored. He might have scored one. We haven't scored many, but
no. I believe Ipswich fans were annoyed with him and said he didn't care.
As Hull come forward with the ball, just a question to the chat. What do you think of the lineup? Are you happy with it? Would you have gone with what Robinson's gone with, or would you have seen it differently? I'm really happy to see Elliot Lee back in the side, though.
Yeah. Very quickly, check out the description. Check out our Patreon. We now have a League One Patreon setting. Please support us, love us, hit like, hit subscribe.
Thomas, that is news to me, folks.
Yeah, I know. I didn't tell you about it, but I put it on the other night when you said we should probably do this, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it next week," and then I did it right then and there. So it's there. Please support us.
I'm sure you put the description of "give us money."
Oh, it's the "give us money" setting actually. Matthew Baldinia says, "Yep, good lineup." Robert Allen says, "Aggie is good fit for us, bearing in mind we're playing more and more long ball. Happy with the setup." Yeah.
We seem to play a hell of a lot more. I mean, I think you have to say this Oxford side's not as good as the one last season.
No,
I think I have to say that we're nowhere near playing as good a football as we did at times last season. We are playing a lot more direct. Hull in behind, onside, chance to take the lead. He's overrun it a bit. Is that going to be a penalty?
Oh.
It's not given. Hang on. I think he's speaking to the linesman, but I don't think the linesman's going to give it. So I'm not sure who was running in on goal. It was number 19 for Hull. So it was Lewis Potter. And it looked like he overrun it, and Stevens came out. It wasn't right in the middle; it was wide, and it looked like he just kicked it out for a goal kick. But it does look like Stevens has caught him as well. Look, it's one of those ones that if Oxford were in this situation, you'd be screaming for a penalty. If it's not been given, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm listening to it on mute. So if anybody's got any news on what's happened, I mean, is it given offside? Yeah. I mean, what's he given here? But um, I mean, Stevens has made contact with him, but he's kicked it out for a goal kick.
Yeah.
So, and I don't even know. I mean, I don't know what they've given. I mean, it's Oxford haven't conceded a penalty, and I think so he's given offside.
Okay.
Fucking linesman, man.
Takes a while, doesn't it?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm really
bounces
angry at
to
that.
offside.
I'm fucking angry at that. That is ridiculous. That is honestly like. So you could have literally flagged that offside, and that would have stopped. That could look. All right, Oxford are in the box now. Oh my God, Oxford have nearly scored. I'm sorry, I just need to rant. So that whole thing could have been avoided by a linesman putting his fucking flag up, and because honestly, Stevens could have got injured there. Potter could have got injured for Hull, but a linesman's just fucking like this stupid fucking rule that they've got in. Shadipo did really well, got to the byline, put a cross in, it went right the way across the 6-yard box. Oxford player arriving late, may have been Lee, may have been Brannigan, just couldn't get on it. It was a bit of not quite as a Gascoigne Euro 96 moment, but kind of.
Ian, bit of news. Thomas Mueller's just gotten his second assist, took the ball down in the area on his chest, and laid a beautiful ball to Serge Gnabry to score. But the most pressing news in League One is that Premier League striker Cameron Jerome has just scored for MK Dons, and they are leading struggling Accrington Stanley 1-0.
Wow.
My Aki, they're falling apart, mate. You were right. I'm just sad.
I can't stress enough, Thomas. Just keep the faith. There's a long way to go. Free kick to Oxford, just inside Hull's half. So, to use the cliche for the first time, chance to swing one in, and they do. Atkinson's won the first header, but it goes harmlessly out for a goal kick. But exciting start to the game.
Tom Gardner says Aggie looks sharp.
Yeah, he does. It also look quite good going forward. Shadipo's look quite good as well. But you've got to be wary. I mean, Hull, that was a good ball through. I'm not sure who played the through ball, but a good through ball by Hull and a good run by Lewis Potter. He was just offside. That was the thing that happened earlier on. So it's both sides looking pretty good, I would say, so far.
I'd like to do some shameless plugging. If everybody goes over to Grandstand Bettors this evening, you'll see a collaboration video between Ian, myself, and Matt Uranka of Grandstand Bettors with our 3 picks of the week for bets in Europe. So if you guys are interested in that, after this match, swing over there. It should be up soon. Check it out.
Oxford causing trouble again. I mean, that was a ball. Adji did really well actually to start the move, and he got it out to Sykes, and Sykes for once didn't waste any time. He just got a ball out of his foot and whipped it in. I mean, it did take a deflection, but Shadipo nearly made a good contribution at the back post, but it just fell into Ingram's arms. But good start for Oxford. Let's hope this continues. I did think Oxford would start this game quite fast, and they have done, which is good to see. We really, really, really need that first goal in this game, though, I think.
Pessimistic Brother Alan coming in with the controversial viewpoints, which he's actually labeled as a controversial view. Has Stevens been lucky in a way Eastwood hasn't been? He's made a few mistakes, which hasn't led to anything. Eastwood's mistakes led to goals.
I think you're being a bit overcritical there. Pessimistic
Brother Alan?
I really do. I do think you're being overcritical, and Eastwood. It did seem to be quite a run for Eastwood where he would make mistakes, but the mistakes were happening more and more for Eastwood, and he was looking less and lesser. As I'm just going to interrupt there because Burton have taken the lead.
What?
It just flashed up on my screen, so I had
to
say Kane Hemmings, and it was right. So Eastwood was making like a lot of mistakes in games, and he wasn't confident, and we weren't keeping clean sheets, and I think that. There's the odd error from Stevens, but I think generally he and the back four have marshalled things really well, and I think he's still got a lot of confidence in his decision making. Like if whether he gets that right or wrong, at least he's not hesitant in what he does, which I think that was the biggest problem with Eastwood. I think he was just unsure of himself.
Yeah, Eastwood you could see was playing on zero confidence by the end, where Stevens has come in and just. He's kind of marshaled the area. He's been the goalkeeper. It's been his position. He's done well at it. think.
Oh, he's been brilliant. I mean, how many clean sheets? Oxford think it's a ridiculous stat of like 9 clean
and
sheets
20?
in like 17 games or something.
Yeah.
So I'm considering we hadn't collected any in the league until he came in.
Yeah.
That shows you that I think you are just being a little bit harsh to Jack Stevens, to Stevens then. There.
Also, any of you who do want to go check out the video, Matt has just said it will be coming out at 7:15 p.m. So it will come out after this game is over and probably after our review comes out, Ian? Or does our review come out later than that?
We will see.
We'll see.
Right, Oxford come forward with Brannigan, plays a nice ball out. I'll tell you, looks a massive pitch, and it looks a really like good pitch as well. It looks like a one where there's going to be a lot of space for both sides. But it looks a really, really. I mean, this has got to be along with the Stadium of Light. This has got to be the best stadium in League One, isn't it? I think it's a lovely stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's a lot better than the pitch we played Swindon on a few days ago. But go and watch that video and go and hit the like button on this stream, because if you don't, then Oxford will definitely lose.
We actually have more likes than concurrent viewers right now, so thank you to everyone for liking and then leaving. And for those of you that stayed, Matt Bowden says the pitch is in good condition, and as a cricketer, he would know. So that's high praise indeed.
Do you do any grounds work, Matt? Do you do any work on Oxford Downs pitch or anything like that?
I don't do any grounds work.
No, I wasn't asking, Tom. That was why I said Matt.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I thought that was implied in the
in the fact that you titled the question and everything. Matt Bowden says it's a dive around the ground. He went there in 2004 when Oxford lost 4-2.
It might have improved it since that is 16 years ago.
I mean, also it is in Hull, isn't it? I'm just saying, Hull.
Didn't they win like? I think I might be bloody
ugliest city in Europe or whatever.
I think like 10 years ago or something, they won like European City of Culture, and
somehow
people were like, "Did you just hand this award out? Did you just pick it out of a hat at this point?"
Next up, Slough. Jesus Christ, Mick McCarthy is like the Cardiff Whisperer. They're beating Watford 1-0 now. Unbelievable scenes. If they win this, it'll be their 8th win in like 12 games. Maybe McCarthy will come to Man United.
Speaking about form sides in the Championship, have you seen the run Barnsley are on?
No.
They're fucking incredible. I think they had a 1-1 draw with Derby in the week, and that would have been their 6th straight win. Jeez. And they are like banging the playoff mix.
Yeah.
Like that, most people would have thought they'd be like lucky to survive this season. Free kick in the box from Hull. Can Oxford block the shot? They can. Sykes stops it from going out for a corner as well. Good defending that from Oxford's first chance. They've had first chance. Hull have had to swing a ball in, and Oxford defended it pretty well, I thought.
Right, but we've got tons of comments coming in from our wonderful Patreon subscribers. So Matt Bowden says that he sometimes turns the tap on to help out.
That's very good of you. That's very good.
Kind and giving man. You can have a job at Brook Sport if you'd like it. And Robert Allen, pessimistic brother Allen, asks why we haven't mentioned Wilder leaving Sheffield United yet.
We were waiting for you to bring it up.
There we are. Ian, talk.
Forgot about it, to be honest. It's not really a surprise. I guess most people thought it was going to happen earlier on in the season, but the fact that it's gone so deep, you thought they were just going to stick with him and try and rebuild. But it seems like there's been a falling out between owner and manager, and I don't think that's been an easy decision that Chris Wilder's had to make. I would think he's other than maybe managing England, he's probably in his dream job, and not one that he would leave lightly. And I would think that he must consider that they're not going to. Shadipo must be offside. There he is. That they're not going to invest in the squad next season to his liking.
Did he release a statement, or is this still? He's leaving, but we're not saying.
They were going to do a press conference at 5:00 yesterday, and they cancelled it.
Interesting.
So it's not been officially confirmed yet, but it's one of those things that is, but hasn't been officially declared by the club.
Barnsley are winning, by the way. I
mean, they've come out and they publicly criticised the way he spent money.
Yeah, I saw
on that. Namely Brewster and McGuinn, I think.
Oh no, Ollie McBurney.
McBurney.
I mean, it's the Brewster thing is interesting because he always looked like a square peg in a round hole when they signed him. Like the style of football he was used to playing, and he was coming into a side that like has no interest in attacking. Right.
Just going to say, Oxford are in the box with Shadipo. He has a shot straight at Ingram. No worries there, but positive again, and that all came from brilliant hold-up play by Adji from a pinged ball by Stevens that he had no right to win, and he managed to hold on to it really well, and Shadipo ran into the box. Decent effort, but straight at the goalkeeper. But again, encouraging signs that Oxford are in this game.
Tom Gardner is saying that he thinks the owners blamed them for him for wasting money on Brewster. It's just that it feels weird. Like if you were going to sack him, you think it would have been in February, right? Like just after the transfer window, look at it, go, we're not playing well. Right. But they've like the fact that it's come until now, like there's very little to be gained for Sheffield United unless they win every game to the end of the season. They're pretty much down.
And I can only think that they. I mean, Wilder had a situation with Oxford where he got pretty sick of the owners, and they got pretty sick of him. So it wasn't like they weren't that sad to part ways. And it sounds like something similar has happened here, and it is a sad one because I think he would have probably tried to work things out and let things drift along and not want to sort of throw his toys out the pram. As Gavin White, first opportunity, he's had to break down the wing, gets across in, and Oxford clear it. But Hansen did not do a good. Ford did not do a good job of holding up to Gavin White on that occasion. They still come forward with Honeyman, and they're still working it wide. Honeyman with a chance to cross in, he does, and that's headed away nicely by Atkinson, and Oxford can come forward, but. He would have wanted to try and stay in the job as long as possibly, even if things weren't great, because he'd have known the enjoyment of managing would have been back next season when the fans returned to Bramall Lane.
And when they're winning.
And I'm sure those fans would have been still behind him. And
really interesting.
You would have thought they would have had, if they wouldn't have need to strengthen too much, to have had a decent crack at the championship next season.
Robert Allen of the Pessimism Clan says that he believes Wilder is actually unhappy with the training facilities. Apparently the roof collapsed on it recently, and their training ground is apparently barely fit for a championship side, let alone a Premier League team. And thank you, Pessimistic Brother Allen, for that super chat.
That doesn't surprise me. And you would have thought that they would have spent the money from the Premier League to improve the club as a whole, like we've seen teams like Burnley do, and Norwich did it as well.
Yeah.
And so cross into the box from Hull, having a good little couple of minutes here. Comes out to White again with it's not. It's their number 3. I think that might be the marauding Australian.
Elmer Fudd.
That was Elder with a chance to cross, but it was blocked. But Hull are having like 3 or 4 minutes now where they've been in charge, and Oxford are struggling to get out at the moment. But that could have been given as a foul on Shadipo, and it was a nice bit of bravery there because he knew he was going to get clattered, but he stood up to it well. I mean, again, it's similar things when he was Oxford manager. You know, he did a good job, and every year it seemed like they were giving him less and less money, but wanted him to do as good a job as he'd done the year before.
Yeah, I would not want to take the job right now. Like, I would not want to go into this team, even if I was a championship manager coming.
Sorry to interrupt again. Gavin White attacking down the left-hand side. He's got 1-on-1. He has a shot, but a great challenge by Rob Atkinson. He has got Anthony Ford. I don't want to say it quite yet, but he's definitely verging on skinning him on toast every time. Anthony Ford at the moment does not look like he can handle Gavin White. That was a great block by Rob Atkinson to come over and snuff out that shot on goal. But Hull still have it, and they're certainly growing into this game. Oxford really starting to struggle to live with them through midfield now, which isn't great after 18 minutes. Hopefully this is just one of the flows of the game, and Oxford will get another little rally soon. But at the moment, we've got some more defending to do as they attack from the other side, and it's behind for a corner to Hull. Nervy moments for the whites or yellows or
yellow and whites.
I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
I'm really excited to hear what incredibly nuts statement you come out with. Like, our sheep mammals are reptiles, skinning them on toast. What are you going to say today, Ian? Wait, you got anything planned?
You know, I have an easier time dealing with away games for Oxford of not getting the other team wrong.
Yeah.
Because they're wearing their home kit, and then I don't really have an excuse. So when teams like fucking a team play, that's why I make the mistakes, because I think Ipswich played in red.
Yeah.
So I just kept calling them Charlton,
Yeah.
or Charlton played in blue, so I kept calling them Ipswich, and it was
Yeah, for those of you,
my brain ain't that sharp.
for those of you new to the stream, if you want to play a fun drinking game, every time Ian gets a team name wrong, drink. Trust me, it happens way more than you'd think, considering he's even got the name of the teams in the top left corner. Way more than you think.
Especially, you know, I mean, it depends how hammered drunk you really want to get on a Saturday afternoon.
I mean, I'm pretty drunk right now. I don't know about you.
You know,
I've been drinking
that's
since
a
like 3. By the way, whatchamacallit, Bournemouth are losing currently to a team.
I don't fancy. I think that's a massive mistake they've made, giving Jonathan Woodgate fucking reins till the end of the season. I almost think that might kind of guarantees they're not going to go up in my mind.
As I said that, they just equalised. But yeah, it's Bournemouth 1.
What a decision. Great decision giving Jonathan Woodgate the job.
Can't win, mate.
Great to give him another chance. The man who had the best debut ever for Real Madrid.
If Burton stay up and they end a top half, is Jimmy Floyd manager of the year?
Hull come forward again. Absolutely flying forward now every time, but luckily it just gets snuffed out. But that was if Gavin White could have brought that ball down, he would have been 1-on-1 running at Atkinson then, and that would have been only one winner in that foot race. But they come again, cutting through the middle. It's out wide. I think I can't say who that. I think that might be Wilkes. Well, I haven't seen Wilkes much in this game. He didn't do much right there. But hopefully he gets the ball more, because he lost it as soon as he got it. But Oxford reduced to kind of punting it forward really, and just hopeful that Adji or Shadipo can run onto these long balls, which isn't quite working. But they look like they're getting a bit overrun at the moment, and they just need to kind of. Already, I'm looking at the clock, thinking, how long is it till halftime?
Me too. Joseph Billingsley, hello, says, "Come on, Oxford," even though I don't support them. That's what we want to hear on this channel.
Good. Who do you support?
Like that. Yeah, who do you support? Huh?
Right, White is in again on the left-hand side, and scores. Gavin White scores. Hull are 1-0 up. Simple goal, but really good. I mean, if you've got a player like that, why not hit the ball to him every single time? It was a simple ball, diagonal ball to him, and it was. He's too quick, and Jack Stevens was never going to get to it, so he had to retreat. It meant he had a load of space to run into. He just cuts inside onto his right peg and drills a nice shot into the corner. It's a fabulous long raked pass from defence into attack, which he can just and there's not much Oxford can do about that. I mean, you could say Ford could have got tighter, but that's a wonderful pass. It's a wonderful run, and it's a great finish. You have to kind of just hold your hands up and say, well played. Yeah. But it does give us a bit of a mountain to climb now. It's actually Lewis Potter. I don't know why I said it was Gavin White. I'm getting this completely wrong every time. It's Lewis Potter, who's been causing all the problems for Hull. On the balance of what we've seen over the last 5 to 10 minutes, Hull deserve to be in the lead.
Yeah, really quickly, Kane Hemmings has scored again for Burton. Joseph Billingsley says he supports Sunderland, so he wants Oxford to win because Hull is next to them. Yeah. Bad luck, mate.
Yeah, we had another comment from a Sunderland fan hoping that we win, but it's at the moment it might be wishful thinking.
Not looking great. Tom Gardner says these Hull wingers are scaring me. Yeah, 100%. By all accounts, they're ripping you to shreds. Grandstand bettors quote of the day, as that goal went in, wrote 0-0 first half, Oxford draw on Saturdays is the best bet in all sports. Yeah. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, basically a lot of agreement that, oh shit, we've lost, we're losing, and it's Lewis Potter.
Right, Sykes on the edge of the box with a chance to shoot. Good effort. It's come out to Brannigan. This shot is terrible, but really good opportunity to Oxford. They really opened the hole up well there. Good work by Sykes. That is one of the key problems Oxford have is the goals from midfield, and that was a really good opportunity. I mean, Sykes hit a good shot, and Ingram's palmed that straight out to Brannigan, who's on the edge of the box, and it's an awful. I mean, it's a terrible shot. It's sliced high and wide. He could have even taken a touchdown and got a shot on goal, but he should be doing better from that position. He should at least be working the goalkeeper, but that was a great chance for Oxford to get back into this game, and that does just show you that we are still a threat going forward. But we just got to try and hopefully limit Hull to the chances they get.
Joseph Billingsley asks, do we think Sunderland will win tomorrow in the Papa John's Trophy? I mean, it's the Papa John's World Championships, Joseph. World Championships. But Ian, what do you think will happen tomorrow?
Or pizza World Championships. Yes. I mean, look, you should win, but we should have beaten Tranmere as well, and they came and they played really well against us and deserved to win. So you should do,
but
and I think you will. But I don't think it's going to be. I mean, it's a cup final. It's not going to be an easy match.
No,
Tranmere are going to, I would say, give you a pretty tough
game. They're a decent side,
but I think Sunderland are in good form, and I think they will come away winners.
Yeah, I think they will as well. It's I mean, it's one of those things. Like, it's hard to look past them, and if you're betting on Sunderland. Like, there's no way you're betting on the upset in that game. Good question from Pessimistic Brother Allen, though. He says, has Brannigan scored this season?
I think he scored in the League Cup at the very first game of the season against AFC Wimbledon. I don't think he scored in the league. And it really, he scored a few goals at the start of last season, and his shooting seemed to get worse as the season went on, and that seems to have happened again.
Yeah,
it's like his finishing is atrocious, and you'd really do expect more.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're a fucking professional footballer and you're getting the ball 12 yards out of a free shot on goal, you've got to hit the target.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. You have to hit the target. He's not. He's really not looking good for a goal.
I mean, maybe it's not fucking. Maybe his vision's not right there at the moment. So maybe he's seeing two footballs instead of one. Who knows?
But at least he's kicking the right one. You know, he's really working hard on that. He kicks the right football every time.
Oh, I don't know if he is. Judging by that shot, you wouldn't say he is kicking with the right one, right foot at least.
It's not a huge amount. Oh my God, Wycombe Wanderers lead. They're being pressed in 1-0. Ryan Tafazoli has just scored.
Wow, defender, I think. Ryan Tafazoli. Right, Oxford backing off, foolishly backing off. What? Oxford not defending very well as well, and that was the first chance we've seen kind of Wilkes running with the ball and very powerful, strong player. And Oxford just retreated, really. And once he shrugged off Atkinson, he got to like 25 yards out and nobody went to close him down. And it was lucky his shot was straight at Stevens. But it wasn't good to see Oxford just allow him to shoot there. And it's struggling. This is a struggle at the moment. Real struggle. Hull look really good going forward.
I feel like there's a movie or a video on YouTube you could have watched where someone said that. Did that get? Do we publish something like that? Do we do that? Do we do that? I did that.
I would think you're being very, very generous to call it a movie.
Motion picture.
Yeah. Vaudeville.
Pessimist Brother Allen agrees. He said he looked like a decent goal-scoring midfielder, but his form has just dropped off since last season.
Right, chance for Hull to cross again. It's Honeyman, and it's somehow they've managed to work it back to Jack Stevens. I'm not sure if that was by design, but it's managed to get back there. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think his play is still good. I think his work rate's still good, and I think his passing is decent, and I think the effort he puts in is still of a high level. But that is the one area where he definitely needs to improve is his finishing, but he's not the only one in that boat. I would say that the lack of goals from the central midfield positions, and I'll even put Henry in that position this year. He hasn't scored a lot of goals.
I mean, Oxford aren't scoring a lot of goals.
Has been really poor.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and it puts, and when you do have Matty Taylor having a bad run, it does put a lot of pressure on the whole side because you don't know you just don't see where the goals are going to come from.
You don't. No, it's tough. It's really tough. Oh, I've just seen one of the Leicester goals against Brighton. The one where like it comes. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The defender like it comes off the defender. It's so poor. Brighton are a shit show. They're just a shit show right now. Thank God you're not Brighton. How does this result affect the league, Ian? So obviously this helps Hull out. Oxford still only a couple of points behind playoff places.
Yeah, it's looking at the live league table, Ipswich have gone up into the final playoff position. Obviously, Portsmouth and Sunderland not playing this weekend. Oxford sitting ninth, 4 points off the playoffs.
Yeah.
With Ipswich in 6th, Portsmouth in 7th, Charlton in 8th, Oxford 9th, Accrington 10th, Gillingham 11th, and then Blackpool in 12th.
You do feel like, so being totally honest, Oxford are like, that's the cutoff point. The teams below Oxford, whilst they're in touch, you don't really feel any of them could get promoted. But Oxford up, every single one of those teams.
Disagree. Yeah? I really disagree with that. I think that I don't look at necessarily Gillingham, but I think Blackpool could. Right, Oxford with a chance to cross. It looks a bit overhit, but Hull have to funnel it, not clear it very well, but it's well enough. And Oxford win a free kick on the throw-in, on the left-hand side, and with a chance to kind of build another attack. But I would say so far the way we've attacked, I'd love to see us trying to get Shadipo on the ball a bit more, and it's another cross in. But it's just not. They're not doing a good job of finding Adji. It's kind of like just hopeful balls in. But so far, Sykes and Ford have had some decent joy down the right-hand side and have found a bit of space to get crosses in. Hull marauding forward again, and we are out with Potter again, who crosses in. It's behind everybody, and Wilkes will keep it in play. But Hull still coming forward. And dangerous. Wilkes falls over looking for a free kick, and he doesn't win it. And Oxford, all they can do is bang it forward. And can Adji hold the ball up? He can, but loses it straight away. Yeah, not good at the moment. Not looking. I mean, it feels like we're massively under pressure now.
Yeah.
And we really just have to try and see if we can get through to half time, only 1-0 down, and then try and rebuild again in the second half. But we really they look dangerous every time they come forward, and they haven't really done too many shots other than the one that went in against to Stevens, which is good. But it definitely, at the moment, it feels like a matter of time before they get the second.
Yeah. Oxford fans on the channel, how are you feeling right now about the game? How are you feeling about Oxford's season? How are you feeling about the future? Tell us. Let us know things. Oh, look, West Brom and Crystal Palace is 0-0.
Depot playing more middle. Has the ball and is running forward. He gives it to Sykes, who's got a bit of space. They are actually standing off Oxford quite a bit. Ford can cross, and it's a decent ball in. One to be attacked at the back post, and a good header, really good header by Ruffles, and that is a very good save by Ingram down to his right-hand side to keep the ball out. And Oxford still come forward again through, I think that's through Elliot Lee, marauding really well. The shooting chance. Can he get a shot on? He's overrun it a bit, but he plays it to Adji, and Adji puts it over the bar. But a good move by Oxford. Started with a fine ball by good work by Sykes and Ford. Ford got a good ball in, and Ruffles at the back post. Good header down low, and Ingram did a really good save to keep it out. Oxford kept the move alive. Lee fed it into Adji, who shot over the bar. But that is certainly, we can't say we're not creating chances in this game. We can't say we're not giving it a go. I am just it's just a worry about keeping Hull out at the other end at the moment.
Ian, Kane Hemmings, 34 minutes, hat trick. Burton 3, Crew 0.
Wow, mate! I tell you, you cannot. I mean, that is 40 points for them. Yeah. How many more wins until they start fucking believing they can make a change?
I mean, how far away from Oxford are they at this point? Is it 10 points?
I mean, they're on 40 points. Oxford are on 50, so they're 10 points away. So it's, I mean, again, that's a gap that could be closed in a couple of weeks with the amount of games that's played.
Yeah.
But Adji does well again, but he's used his hand, I think.
Cheat.
Yeah, free kick.
Get him off.
Grey area though, handball, isn't it? A handball can give you can be offside for having an arm.
A finger.
You can be offside with your arm one week, which means it's deemed as a part of the body you can score with. But then next week, that same part of the body can have a goal disallowed for handball.
It's fantastic. It's great. I really like the rules right now. They make perfect sense. Pessimistic Brother Alan.
They've really done a good job of seamlessly implementing technology to help with the rules of football.
They've tried really hard. Oh my God, Crystal Palace have scored. Palace won, West Brom 0. Thank God. I don't think I could have lived with West Brom getting more points. But yeah, Pessimistic Brother Alan says, I don't think we played that badly. We created a few chances, but Hull looked very dangerous attacking. We still look well in the game.
Yeah. No, absolutely right. It is. Oxford have looked quite good in moments in this game going forward, and they've been more clinical.
Yeah.
To put a very short-worded answer on it.
Ian Allen, Lincoln City 0, Rochdale 1.
Wow, fucking hell.
Are Lincoln on? Am I totally wrong? I could be wrong. We've had these discussions before, but are Lincoln on a bad run of form right now?
I will tell you after this free kick is cleared, and it's done. Sykes has done really well. He's been brave. He's nipped in and won the ball and got fouled, knowing that he would have got fouled, and Oxford can clear the danger. But they're not doing great, are they? They're slipping down the league. They got a draw, I think, didn't they, in the week against Ipswich, and now it's still a long way to go. But if they lose that game today, then I think they will start to worry. Certainly with the quality of the teams breathing down their neck.
Yeah.
But it's as Honeyman comes driving forward, acres of space through the midfield. Is lucky that his pass is a little bit behind White, but he gets it back, and it's a not very good effort, and it goes out for a goal kick. It's a different type of pressure, isn't it? When you've been up at the top all season, and Oxford have done this before, you start the season really well, and you're playing great, and everybody thinks it's going to be a glorious promotion push. But then when you do start playing badly, the football becomes very hard to watch, becomes very laboured, and you do. Oh my God! Right, big chance for Hull now. White in on goal, and Oxford recover well. Atkinson gets a good block, but that came from Elliot Moore trying to pass out from the back and making a big mistake of it, gifting it back to Hull. And that they really should have done better from that position. And we're massively hanging on in this game. But the football really suffers, and every game becomes very, very pressurised, and the players really feel it as Hull drive forward again. No pressure from them. Honeyman causing all sorts of problems. Elliot Moore, good header away. Lewis Potter keeps the move alive. Comes back to the marauding Australian left back. But Hull are moving this around really nicely. Honeyman is everywhere on this pitch at the moment. And look, this is just so open. Oh God, this is really good football. But Oxford are managing to stand firm, and they can counter-attack now. Sykes covers forward. He plays it to Adji, who's got not a lot of places to go, but does really well to hold on to the ball and wins a really good free. Very well done by Dan Adji then, holding on to the ball, won the free kick. Oxford free kick just inside Hull's half. But that's what Lincoln will be feeling, and that's what, if the fans were there, they'd be feeling. Every game is like you're almost like scared to lose it, rather than like happy when they win it. And whereas when you're chasing, you kind of like have got nothing to lose, and you kind of go into every game with a bit of more oomph.
Yeah. Wout Weghorst has scored for Wolfsburg. They're now up 2-0. Well done, Wout. Neil Stewart Davies says, I reckon 70 points for the season, but we're not good enough to go up. If we did go up, we would come straight down. I'd rather stay in League One with this set of players. Shall I say my piece on this? That
you can, but you have a different view to what I feel on this. But you go for it, Tom. I'm sorry if I do interrupt you, but this game has Hull look dangerous every time they come forward. But try and get as much as you can in.
No,
before I interrupt.
I think that thinking you don't want to go up is like a fool's thought. The best thing that could happen to Oxford is them to go up and get even more money breathed into the club, etc., and give them a firmer stance to possibly get a new ground or a fourth stand or whatever you want. But more than anything else, I would worry the best players at this club are going to leave again. And that's just the way it is when you're in League One. And I worry that players that are like Dickey, who could be in the Premier League by next year, are being sold on for £1 million. And I don't think like Atkinson, Moore, Stevens, Brannigan, probably not Taylor because he's gone so badly off the boil, but some of the better players at Gorin, they might leave. And if you lose 4 or 5 of them, the club's gutted. It's just gutted. And I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to stay in the league if we could. I definitely want to go up. Yeah,
I think most people would agree with you, but I do take the point of that kind of you do feel that it is going to be a season of pain if we do go up to the Championship, and maybe people just don't want to endure that of having that season where you kind of lose 30 out of 48 games. And
I don't think
you're always constantly down the bottom of the league. Yeah, no, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying I can see the point. And but I mean, I would like Oxford to go up. You do have those worries of what you talked about, and you do start to think, would Robinson start to get sick of it? Is the owner going to start to get sick of putting the money in and not getting the return on the pitch? And and as you said, would you lose the best players and not be able to replace them with very good? So you could just go from a side that's pushing for the playoffs to a side that is just a very bog standard League One team. But part of me is quite happy with Oxford at League One level. I mean, I've watched Oxford in a lot worse leagues. So, and I feel in a way this feels like the level we are.
Yeah.
So it does feel quite enjoyable to watch game after game every week where we're competitive in, as opposed to games where we're probably going to lose. But I mean, you always want to see your team go up. I think you always want to see your team go up.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Neil Stewart Davies says 2 things. One, he says I'm a fool, but the second one is Lincoln are 10th in form in their last 6. Oxford are 15th. So neither of these clubs are in great form going into this game.
No, we're not. We are going through a difficult run of form at the moment. There's no question about that. The win against Swindon was important for both getting a Derby Day win and for just getting a win, which is something I'm sure you mentioned in the video, Tom, that we did. Yes. But it never felt it for me. That game against Swindon felt like an isolated game. It never felt like a game that would reignite our season.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It just felt like a game that we just had to try and scrap away a win in, and we did. And I think a lot of that comes down to, and a lot of that does come down to injuries to key players. There are a lot of key players out injured in this Oxford side, and it's James Henry is a big loss. Having another goal scorer like Winnall is a big loss. I know he hasn't been amazing, but he has got history of being a good striker. Sam Long's a big loss to the side.
Yeah.
And we haven't got the strength in depth to be able to cope with losing those key players. Marcus McGuane is another one, is a big loss to this side. So
yeah, McGuane's a huge loss.
We are feeling the impact of that, and that has been one of the reasons why we've not looked as good lately and not scored the goals we should have done lately. And hope, but I mean, I am still hopeful that it can change quite quickly. It only takes one good result. Yeah. Oh my God, what an effort. Oh my God. Lewis Potter smashes it from distance. If he was a few more yards out, you felt that would have dipped under the bar and gone in. But it was a great effort, and it was lucky it just went over the bar. I feel that if we can, I said about this game, I thought this game was a bit of a free hit for Oxford today. I'm not too disappointed if we lose it. Yeah. And because they do seem like such a good side, and we've got our injuries. I don't feel like that for any other game. Maybe Sunderland away. Yeah. I do feel that every other game is a game Oxford should be getting something out of it, and that starts with Doncaster on Tuesday. So if we can get a win in that game and score some goals, I do think that the form could click back into gear quite quickly after a game like that.
Yeah. Those final 8 matches could change everything, and Oxford could easily be in the playoff places. Easy.
I mean, let's literally just bring that. I mean, I brought that up on the preview video, but I do want to bring that up now, and it's just that
Ian, hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. Is it almost half time?
It is 2 minutes away.
Yeah, so just really quickly, at half time, we will jump off for 10 minutes. The stream will go dead. We'll come back with a couple minutes before the second half, and we'll talk through our thoughts in the first half and stats and stuff like that. And very quickly, Callum Photography says, up the Villa from a Villa fan. He says, are Oxford close to scoring? The answer to that is yes, but so are Hull.
Yeah, both sides look good going forward. I'll be surprised if it stays 1-0. I'm worried that Hull might put this game to bed by the time we do stick one in the back of the net.
Yeah. Sorry, you wanted to talk about the fixtures at the end of the season. I just wanted to get a little bit out of the way.
Yeah, I just wanted to just reel off these fixtures. I mean, if we can get through Sunderland away on the 2nd of April, and if we're still in touching distance of the playoffs when that rolls around, we've got Accrington Stanley at home, Crewe away, Shrewsbury at home, Gillingham at home, Wimbledon away, Plymouth at home, Shrewsbury away, Burton at home.
Yeah.
They all sound winnable games. I'm not saying we're going to win them, but they sound winnable.
Nobody beats Burton. They're winning every game to the end of the year.
Okay. I agree with that. I didn't say I think we will win them all. I said they're winnable. Burton are in great form at the moment. Anybody playing them would be extremely nervous of getting a result against them. Hopefully, by the time Oxford do play them, their season will be very much on the beach.
Yes, that'd be good.
I'm hoping. So that leaves me to think that you can't rule this season out, even if we do continue on a bad run for a few games.
Yeah. Hey, pessimistic brother Alan agrees with me. He says better get promoted than not. We would massively struggle, but the higher level with potentially bigger crowds is better. Agreed.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a savant.
It's been such a long time since Oxford have played at that level, and you would want to see Oxford play sides like Derby, sides like Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, teams like Preston, or like big. And there's some other ones, Nottingham Forest, for example. Some big sides there. So Oxford, Sykes down the right-hand side. Good cross in. Adji not attacking it enough. Why aren't you literally throwing yourself at that one? It was a bit of a Hull looked like they were trying to be a bit too cute keeping it in, but they've won a free kick. But that was a really good ball in by Sykes. And if Adji was a little bit more gambled a little bit more, he could have got ahead of his defender and got that in. And that's just he was on his toes, not on his toes there. He was a bit flat-footed. So that was a little bit disappointing. But again, another good opportunity for Oxford, getting a lot of joy down this right-hand side with Ford and Sykes. And so far, I'd say those two are having a good game going forward. They're struggling a bit going the other way.
Defending, not so great right now. Not so great. Most of the matches.
It's tough.
Most of the matches in League One are at half time right now. Palace has gone to the Palace matches half time now.
Including this one.
Yes, right. So everybody, we will be back in about 10 minutes. Please don't leave. Just wait for us. We'll be back very soon. Maybe get yourself a cup of tea or a beer to play the Ian Allen team game. We'll see you in
thoughts and things. I'm not sure if they restrictions in Belgium of if kids can still play football or not, but they're probably doing something. They're probably doing anything other than watching football and having a happy, blissful life.
That sounds like what we really should be doing.
Yeah, it's probably Andy has a pretty lovely life, but apart from when he dips back into sporting Oxford United
for 2 hours or for 4 hours.
It's like opening Pandora's box. It's not the monsters that come out.
No.
That's the thing. It's not the monsters that come out of the box. It's the hope. It's the hope that kills you.
Very quickly, I will say Jonathan Herath, who has been a long-term friend of the channel, says the mighty Wickham are in the lead. And they are. They're at 1-0 lost, I checked. It's good for them. Although that means that they're catching up on Coventry, which, I can't have happen. That can't happen, sorry.
Tom is a Wickham hater. I'm not a Wickham hater.
Well, I also have to support Coventry, because if I don't, I believe I'm disowned.
I didn't realise they were arch enemies.
Well, they're both basically, one of them's going down this year, probably. So I'm going to hope it's Wickham and not Coventry. Definitely don't want Oxford to go down. That would kill me.
I don't think they will. I think they'll just about stay up, Oxford.
They've got a chance, Ian. They've got a chance to stay in the league this year.
They got a chance. Yes, so interested to know what people's thoughts are on that first half. I have sent Tom over some stats. I'm not sure if he's put them on the screen or not.
I have. They're there.
Nice. Sorry, I can't see it.
I know.
But I think an entertaining game, a good game of football. I mean, Hull look a really good side. I was saying to Tom, we do have a tendency of making sides look really good because we are quite an open side. We do like to play we never go into a game sitting with like 2 banks of 4 and just trying to snuff teams out. So we are quite open, and therefore the other side is always going to have chances and look quite good. But Hull have looked, as I thought, as good as anybody going forward. But Oxford have certainly created chances, and as it's only 1-0, we're certainly not out of this game. And I'm not happy with the result, but pleased with the performance so far, I would say.
Somebody is on our channel, and their name is Queen's Park Rangers 0, Oxford United 3, saying,
Nice.
"Come on, you Yellows! Come on,
Nice.
you Yellows!"
What was that game, Thomas?
I'm gonna assume it was a cup final.
It was the
Milk Cup final?
League Cup final in 1986. That was the scoreline.
Yeah.
Oxford's one and only major trophy.
Jonathan Harris says, "Don't worry, we won't catch up to them." Hey, lad. Darren Mark says KLP, which I believe is Keen Lewis Potter, is giving Ford nightmares. Is that accurate, Ian?
No, absolutely he is. He's causing a lot of problems. He's not the only one. And again, I talk about things that Oxford lack are players that can get their foot on the ball and drive forward. And Hull have got a number of players who can do that. Oxford only really have Shadipo who can do that, and Adji, but Adji's playing as a striker, so he's not really going to get that opportunity to do it, which does limit us going forward, and it does make the opposition look a hell of a lot more dangerous.
Indeed. Jonathan Harris says that you've been mauled by the Tigers. Scared face.
Yeah, well, I had a theory on it, and this is weird. The second half is just about to start. That is surely why Oxford are wearing white, to look bigger. If you want to scare off, that's probably your only hope against the Tiger, is trying to make yourself look big and scare it off.
100%. And we all know how big Oxford look in white tops.
I mean, they do look absolutely massive. And I can't stress this enough, in all areas of the body.
Are you accusing them of having massive packages?
Right. Lee, ball into the box. No one there. Caught by Ingram. Good start, Oxford, second half. Just
excellent.
Pass that ball back to the whole goalkeeper.
Excellent.
Actually, to be fair, I would say Elliot Lee is a player, potentially, who can get the ball and beat a man and drive forward. He is someone that can do that. We just haven't got him on the ball enough in this game yet. But when you don't, I mean, if we that's why McGuane is a big loss to this Oxford side, because he definitely was someone that played on, as a Glenn Hoddle likes to say, plays on the half turn.
Ooh, the half turn, lad. Can I just say thank you to all of you for liking this page, by the way. We've got 23 likes despite only having 12 people actually on the feed. So really appreciate all of you clicking like and what you're doing. Please, if you guys are enjoying this, check out our Patreon. It keeps us going, and it's what keeps me able to drink tea and coffee. Grandstand Bettors of our Patreon subscriber says, who do you want to come off the bench to ignite the team, Ian Allen?
Robinson?
I would love Carl Robinson to come on as striker. He's Carl Robinson wants to be a striker.
You could imagine Carl Robinson. I could imagine him appealing for everything.
He'd definitely be captain of his team because
he would be appealing. He would be appealing for a goalkeeper handball, even though he caught the ball on his goal line
in the 6-yard box. It's a foul.
It's a foul. I mean, the obvious 100%. Two you look at is Barker as a pacey winger and Taylor, who might be able to nick us a goal. They're the two main ones. He's got Robbie Hall on there. I don't think he's going to bring Robbie Hall on. I think he could have 10 subs. I think he would rather play with 10 men in this game than bring Robbie Hall on.
This is actually just his permanent trolling of Robbie Hall. That's the entire plan here, is just to troll him on a weekly basis. You're in the team.
And I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I like Robbie. I think Robbie Hall is a guy that always tries to make something happen on a football pitch. He won't. When he gets the ball, he'll always try and take a player on, or he'll try and like get himself into a shooting opportunity, get a cross in. And I think he's a really good player. He's been very unlucky with injuries, but he's obviously a player Robinson doesn't think is good enough for this level, other than when we play in the Pizza World Championship. But Oxford do have a man down at the moment, which looks like it's Sykes, who's getting, looks like he might be a bit of a, I hope it's not a concussion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're like holding him around the neck. So
did I ever tell you this story? I think his name's not Sean Marshall. He was Green something. He played for the Cubs, and in his first ever at bat, got hit by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and his concussion lasted 2.5 years.
Wow.
Like, concussions are brutal things.
Yeah.
Friend of the channel, Luke Taylor, who has a wonderful podcast. If you guys are interested in personal training and stuff like that, Luke Taylor, England women's performance coach, Luke Taylor, Strength and Depth, check it out. But he has now had a concussion for 6 months and still can't read straight and can't type.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did Luke? It's actually Josh Ruffles who's gone down, but he looks like he's going to be able to continue. I mean, that would be a blow, and I wonder what Oxford would do there, because from what we've seen of Grayson, he doesn't look like he's quite. It'd be a big game for him to come into, put it that way. He didn't look great in his first outing as an Oxford player, but looks like Ruffles is going to be able to carry on, and nothing's really happened at the start of the second half. Just quickly, Tom, what did Luke Taylor get a concussion for?
This is quite funny. Him and his wife were cleaning their teeth, and she was taking up the sink, so he went to go spit in the toilet, and the seat was at an angle, and he thought it was up, so he leant back, spat, headbutted the toilet seat.
Oh my wow!
Yeah, it's not a great story, and he's still dealing with the consequences. But he is genuinely a fantastic speaker and a really good person and a really good.
I remember I had a injury on my the back of my knee for quite a number of weeks, and it was sometimes I was really struggling to walk on it. Like, it was one of those things, once you got going, it was all right, but it was very painful. And it was one of those things where you try and do like stretches and stuff like that, but he took 5 minutes, and he just basically sorted it out straight away. He just said, right, you just need to strengthen the muscle up there, and you'll be fine. And I did it, and haven't had any problems with that ever since. So he's a guy who definitely knows his sheet.
If you in fact, in the review video, I will put a link to his podcast, because it's really good. And he is a friend of the channel. He likes all our stuff. He's always talking to me about it. So it's good. Very quickly, I will say that Jonathan Harrath, because of our previous conversation about white and how big it makes you, and then my comment about packages, Jonathan Harris just went, that's why Ian wears white shorts all the time.
Exactly. Doesn't work on me.
How do you look so small and white? Don't talk to me about it. Don't talk to me about it.
It's that was a good comment. Yes, not much has happened so far. It's a bit scrappy. No side's really kind of got a foothold into the second half of yet. And Oxford try and come forward, but it goes to Ingram quite comfortably. Right, so do we see a way back into this game? Oxford United fans out there, what do we need to, oh fucking hell, Rob Atkinson, what are you doing? He's just literally let the ball bounce. Gavin White's ran straight onto it, but it's not in on goal. But Hull are coming forward now with a chance to cross. Ruffles does really well, really well. Just shepherds it back to Stevens in goal. But that was just, again, has those moments where he thinks he's a better footballer than he is, and with players of the quality of Gavin White around, you just don't need to take chances there. You could literally just smack that into the fucking crowd, into the seats.
Pessimistic Brother Allen says Oxford don't need to make subs, though. They look capable of scoring. He also then commented that it was Ruffles who's down, and he said that if Ruffles...
Oh no, Tom, you've gone silent again. You might need to change your headphones. Tom, you've gone quiet again. You might need to change your headphones. Tom, you've gone quiet again. You might need to change your headphones. Tom, you've gone quiet again. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I will just say Tom has just needed to fix his audio on his headphones, and so apologies for this. It's but I can't see the chat, so if you are putting things in the chat, just know I'm not looking at it, so apologies if there is any feedback or audio problems at the moment. I will maybe talk with an ASMR hush tone like that, so it isn't so disturbing to the audience. But Tom's gone missing now. I think he's bailed on the stream, so I might be going solo. And Oxford are still scrapping away. Good challenge by Jamie Hansen there. Come forward with Brannigan, who's given it to Jeremiah Sykes. On the overlap is Ford. Ford plays it down the line to Sykes with a chance to cross, but he's powered out of it by a Hull player, and now Hull have the ball back and come forward and try that long raking diagonal ball, which caused the problems for the goal. But as Atkinson now decides to maraud out of defence, takes on a man, slips over, and Hull win the ball back. So not the greatest couple of minutes for Rob Atkinson there, but no damage done as yet. But Malik Wilkes is charging forward for Hull. Got to see him out, see him down the line. Good cross in, but easily headed away by Moore. And as this, I was just going to say, I know it's early in the second half, but again, for all the build-up play Hull has had, I think that kind of unit of what we've got of Atkinson, Moore, and Ruffles have all defended extremely well. The positional sense between the three of them is really good, and that is part of the reason. I think Stevens has got to play his part in that as well. I think he's a very talkative goalkeeper. Okay. So nearly a penalty for Hull. A guy, a fullback, I think, ran in behind. Did his best too. He dived. I think he dived, and referee had a good view of it and gave a goal kick. Not too many protests from the Hull players. So I think that they pretty much realise that wasn't a penalty. Oxford, as an interesting thing, we haven't had a penalty for fucking ages. I know we had one in the Pizza World Championships, but we haven't had a penalty in a match for a long time. Surely we're long overdue. But a change is being made for Oxford now. Mark Sykes is coming off. It looks like Brandon Barker is coming on. A little bit harsh on Sykes there. Might be an energy, a fitness thing. I thought he's played all right in this match. I thought it's been one of his better games going forward. But Barker is a great player to bring on for Oxford. I mean, it's nice to have Barker and Shadipo on the pitch at the same time. And hopefully we can start asking a few more questions of this whole back line.
Ian, I'm back!
Yay!
I have no idea why every single time we do this, just over an hour in, my headphones disconnect from the computer and just refuse to reconnect.
Jonathan, that might have been my brother sending me a text message. If you did, my phone isn't here, and I'm not going to get up to go check it. So, if you did, you'll probably text. Tom is back now in the chat, so if you put something down there, you'll see it.
Yes, he can also hear me probably.
Mm.
That was really annoying. Jonathan Harris says Ingram is one of their own. Does that mean that he's from the Wickham? Is Ingram originally of the Wickham?
Yeah, he is.
Wow, I did not know that. Oh, I've got to stop singing his praises.
Okay, Hull running in on goal now. Chance to shoot, deflected, but good save by Jack Stevens down to his right. He was wrong-footed slightly. I think that was Gavin White.
Ooh.
He's all right. Is Gavin White, but
Terrible.
Deflected off Rob Atkinson, and good save by Jack Stevens, and Oxford clear it away for a throw-in. Still remains an open game, but still remains one where Hull are certainly asking a lot of questions of this Oxford backline. And at the moment, I would say, taking away obviously the goal, I think Oxford have defended quite well so far. They might have given up space and opportunities. When it's come to the crunch, we haven't Hull have a lot of free shots on goal. They haven't cut us open, and I think the positional play of the back four has been pretty good. And I hopefully that's going to. It can be undone at any moment, like with this free kick. But so far, I think that they've defended really well again.
Robert Allen thinks it was a bit harsh to sub Sykes. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Oh God, that nearly was undone then. It looked like that was a good ball in. It looked like a Hull player was going to have a tap in, but Atkinson got back, swung a leg at it, and Is it a goal kick? How's that a goal kick? Maybe it wasn't Atkinson who got the touch on it then. I'm blind. I'm clearly blind. No, it is a corner. What? Camera work's terrible. Camera work showed Jack Stevens walking behind the goal to pick the ball up as if it was a bloody goal kick, and then it pans out and you can see all the players stood in a penalty area. I'm watching it on mute. That's why I can't tell. But that was good defending by Rob Atkinson. Oxford just need to continue to weather this storm. We will get chances in this second half, limited as they might be, but we will. And we just need to try and keep Hull from scoring that second goal, because I think that's going to be game over if they do get the second.
Right, bunch of score updates. Barnsley have equalised against Bournemouth. It's now 2-2. Accrington, Dion Charles has got a goal back. It's now MK Dons 2, Accrington 1. There are a spate of goals in football right now. And Lincoln City have equalised against Ian's beloved Rochdale. Morgan Rogers on 60 minutes. Lincoln are right back in it. And Ian, a stat you asked for has been given to us. Thank you to Neil Stewart Davies, who says there's been 3 penalties to Oxford United this year. The last one was in December versus Plymouth.
So it was. Yes, that's right. Yeah, obviously, as I said, Taylor did whisk one in the Pizza World Championships, but in the league, it does feel it's like a long time since we've had a penalty, and obviously that gets echoed by the fact that we've given away 2 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, but Jack Stevens doesn't. Jack Stevens? Is it Jack?
Yes.
Yeah, Jack Stevens doesn't concede penalties. He saves them. That's what he does.
No, he does. Yeah, you're quite right. He doesn't concede them. He does save them.
He's going to be the England goalkeeper soon. He's English, right? I haven't gotten this terribly wrong, have I?
I don't know. He might be able to, if he gets really good and there's a chance of him being called up for another home nation side, that he might discover some ancestry that he didn't know he previously had. But at the moment, I think he is English.
Pessimistic Brother Alan says that they're struggling. Oxford's struggling to clear its lines. And
yes, we are. We are, and got to give credit to Hull. I don't. I put this down to you say Oxford are struggling, but I think Hull are just playing really well in this game, and Oxford are doing all they can to just kind of stick with them. But they've got a bit of space now. It's a good ball out to the side by Atkinson to Ruffles, not by Atkinson, by Brannigan to Ruffles, and it's just doing what we're trying to keep possession, and trying to get a bit of confidence keeping possession. But it doesn't look like a lot of space out there. Hull are like pressing us quite well when we get the ball in behind. But saying that, Adji's got half a yard of space now, tries to play in Shadipo, but a good challenge blocks that pass and Hull can clear their lines. But that was a couple of good balls by Shadipo there to give it to Adji, who nearly returned it back to him. But Oxford come forward again, charging down the line. I think that is number 14. Is that Ford out there? It must be. Yeah, Anthony Ford out 40. There. Shadipo and Barker have obviously, Shadipo swapped sides now, so he'll be playing on the right hand side, and Barker will be on the left, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, the Sykes thing, is it like he wanted to just bring Barker on because he's going to provide us more of a threat, and someone has to make way? So it has to kind of, maybe he was just, that's the thing. But Barker loses the ball on his first chance to run forward, and it's given a chance for Hull to just mow forward now. They come to the edge of the box. Good ball in. Malik Wilkes makes a mess of it. Number 23 for Hull, who's got to be one of their fullbacks. No, that was Gavin White. He's all right. Gavin White. So Gavin White was given space to run, and boy, did he run. He just cut through, and he played a nice ball through to Malik Wilkes. He got his legs he stumbled over his feet a little bit as he tried to take it round Stevens, and Stevens did well. He just sort of came out, blocked him, didn't bring him down, and the ball went out for a goal kick. But you cannot deny that Hull looked very dangerous in this match and look much more likely getting a second than Oxford do of getting one.
Oh, Ian, you'll be happy. Bolton have just taken the lead against Port Vale. I know
nice.
You need that for your bet to come in. Unnamed Oxford fan says Oxford will sneak a goal. Neil Stewart Davies says Oxford have conceded 5 penalties and had 2 saved. And Pessimistic Brother Alan, who was always in with the stats, says Stevens was born in Ealing. Gareth, call him up. And it's an equaliser for my beloved Stanley. It's 2-2 against MK Dons. Andrew Sermon, an own goal.
Well,
so many words.
Just thinking of I can't remember what I was going to say now. It's all gone. It's all gone out of my mind.
Sorry, I said a lot of
a bit of a mush.
Was it the unnamed Oxford fan comment?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I was just trying to think who those 5 penalties. Oh, here goes. Keane Lewis Potter this time. I think they are in no. They're in a mood to kill off Oxford now. I think they smell the blood in the water. That was Doherty that time trying to run through Oxford's defence. I think they are sensing the Tigers smell a bit of blood, and they're trying to kill this game off. And again, if we can just keep it to 1-0, who knows? Who knows? We've got that late goal we scored against MK Dons. We scored late on against Swindon. We can nick one late.
Yeah, they don't.
1-1. I don't think any Oxford fan would be complaining at 1-1 at the moment. I think they would be fucking over the moon.
You say that. You say that. Somebody will write abuse.
Yeah, of course. Here's Barker with a chance to run, and he's done really well. He's played a ball outside to Ruffles, who's got a chance to cross. Crosses it first time. It hits. They've got 2 long-haired players. They can't both be Honeyman. Maybe that's why I think Honeyman might be everywhere on this pitch.
No,
I'm going to guess that wasn't. I'm going to guess that was maybe Coyle, and that goes out for an Oxford corner.
Captain Coyle.
Yeah, he's named after the birth control.
Oh, why, Ian? Why?
Well, he is. He's what he is. You can't sugarcoat it.
Oh, boo. Boo.
Right. Corner to Oxford. Played in. Decent ball in. Adji gets ahead on it, but it's still up in the air. Not cleared yet, but now Hull can clear. And as we say, here is Honeyman running 1-on-1. Hanson's got to hold him up. Does really well. I think that was Brannigan actually does brilliantly well. Blocks the through ball, and Oxford get it back to Stevens and just kick it forward. But that was on the break again. Hull looked very, 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 very dangerous. And are they going to start to rue these missed chances?
Well, Ian, I think we have a Peterborough fan on because his name is Forever Football PUFC, and he says, "Please score a winning goal."
We're trying.
Jonathan Harris says, "How dare you just be happy with 1-1," with a series of angry, fiery faces.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I am sorry.
How Oxford fans, as always, I know I always do this, but how are you feeling about what's going on? Are you enjoying what's happening right now? Do you feel your team are still in this? Are you pessimistic like Brother Allen, or are you optimistic like Brother Allen?
You can't say we're not in it. It's only 1-0, but it's whether you think we're going to get that equaliser remains to be seen. But long ball forward, easily cleared by Le Tigers. Long ball forward again. Is actually going to get on that? He is. He's got the ball in the penalty area. Can he? And then he goes down looking for the cheapest penalty ever, and surprisingly isn't given.
Every time an Oxford player goes down the box, I just assume you're not going to get the penalty. Just assume. Yeah.
Well, that was never a penalty in a million years. That was almost like Adji literally just fell over. I don't think he was appealing for it, but
it's hard to be Dan Adji.
Yeah, look, he's worked hard. He's tried when he has been able to get on through balls. I think he's done a good job. I think he's held the ball up well at times. It's been really difficult for him. But I still don't. I hope they don't make the like for like swap.
Yeah.
I mean, surely at this point, I mean, you might even need to wait. You could even wait till like the 80th minute to bring Taylor on if it's still 1-0, and then just go 2 up top, because you might as well lose the game 2-0 going for a fucking equaliser than just playing the same tactics and going nowhere.
Although that is the opposite of the.
That's the opposite.
Carl Robinson.
But Ford is going down the wing. That's a poor pass, but it's come back to him, and he can play it inside to Brannigan, who's in quite a lot of space. But what can he do with it? He plays it to Lee, who's been very quiet in this second half, but he's got a nice little turn on him. And Shadipo's got the ball towards the edge of the box now with a chance to shoot. Still Shadipo goes, and he tries to run past too many players, and lo and behold, he gets frustrated and he fouls the fucking Hull player, who goes down gleefully and wins a free kick. Just great play by Oxford. Good build-up playing. Well done by Shadipo. But just when he lost that ball in that moment, he just lost his composure because that whole player was going nowhere, and you could have literally just stood. But you didn't need to find it, like, try and foul him to try and win the ball back there.
Ian, I have a Premier League question for you, if that's okay, unless something's happening right now. Kai Havertz played at striker today for Chelsea. What the actual fuck?
Did he not play there a few times for Leverkusen?
Oh, this has nothing to do with him playing there for Leverkusen. It has to do with the fact that Tammy Abraham and freaking Giroud are there, but you're playing Kai Havertz, who's completely out of form, at striker.
Yeah.
What the like? Why does everybody hate Olivier Giroud? What did he do? Did he punch someone's cat? Don't get it.
Well, he is overrated, but
World Cup winner.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
I found it so odd that he played.
Score a goal in the whole tournament. How good is he?
He's not a real player. I was actually speaking to a German yesterday who was saying that he didn't rate Timo Werner at all. I thought it was a mass overspin.
I think there's a lot of. I do think there's a lot of that in Germany. Wait, hole in the box. Good header away, but Oxford's still got danger on here. Brannigan battling hard for it, does really well. Is he going to get the free kick? He does. Really well done by Oxford. Again, another bit of last-ditch defending, but it's working. We're getting away with it so far. I think there's a lot of. I don't think a lot of German fans like Werner.
No,
and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Leipzig are generally quite despised.
Yeah.
German football, and I think there's a lot of a carry on. I think there's a lot of backlash still from when he was pretty poor in the last World Cup.
Did you also see the interview with him? I think it was on BBC where he talked about like what a hard spell this has been for him, and he referred to himself in the third person multiple times. It was like, "This is the hardest it's been for Timo. Timo's had a hard time of it," and you're like, "Is this actually happening? This is happening?" He's talking about himself in the third person. Sensational.
That's fucking great.
Yeah. I think
reckon that's a wind up, and like the English players have told him that's how you refer to you. That's how you use the tense in English.
But they thought it was I. It's not I. You just say your first name. Every time you see I, replace it with your name. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let me say a sentence. This lady has green Timo. I saw the word I. Sorry. All right, Hull come forward. There's enough of that. Hull come forward. It looks like Keane Potter. They are got so many times they've just galloped forward. It's deflected. It's past Jack Stevens. It is 2-0 to Hull City. It seemed inevitable it was going to happen. I think that is Keane Lewis Potter, who has had a wonderful game. Just drove at the heart of Oxford again there. Got inside the box, shot the ball. Atkinson slid across to try and block it. Unluckily deflected it past Jack Stevens into the back of the net. You cannot say Hull do not deserve this. They absolutely do.
Yeah. That sounds like they played really well. Another really funny thing that happened is right before that goal went in, the Peterborough United fan went, "Hull won, Oxford won, I hope, thumbs up," and then just, "Oh God, no, it's 2-0. No one's happy. No one's happy right now.
Yeah, I mean, they buckled under the pressure, and it's been a constant pressure throughout this second half, and this could well be the 3-0 that you predicted now, Tom. You would say, and I think they're bringing Lewis Potter off now to bring on McGuinness, so that's no respite for the Oxford players. But Taylor's come on as well for Oxford, and
Agi off.
I don't know who's come off. I just saw Taylor running on. I'm sure they'll bring it up here in a second. But it's a frustrating one because look, we've been hanging on and Hull have deserved it. It's just, again, it's going to, if we do take a pasting in this game and it ends up being 3 or 4, it's going to seem like a game where Oxford were awful. And I don't think we have been awful in this game. I think we've been all right. I just don't think we've been able to live with them.
Jonathan Harris says he's happy, but maybe not for long. Come on, Wickham, get that win. Make our boy happy. Also,
yeah, I mean, it's Oxford look really. They look they look like a beaten side now. I mean, a goal can change everything still, but that just straight from the kickoff, tired passes.
Yeah,
Atkinson like miscontrolling it, giving a sloppy throw in away, and you feel that you feel like the energy is just going to go out of this Oxford team.
Yeah. The insanity of League One continues. Rochdale have retaken the lead against Lincoln. Stephen Humphreys has got a 74th minute goal. And ex-Oxford United, Callum O'Dowd has just scored for Bristol City. They're up 3-0 against Birmingham. This is getting bad, Lucan. Lucan's offering us his cat if the match ends 3-0. So it's a car and a cat that he's going to owe us.
Look, he said the only thing that mattered was Oxford against Swindon. So yeah. And he never actually said to me if he never answered me when I asked if he was like happy. I never got a response from him.
Respond.
I just want Lord Lucan to be happy, Thomas.
I just want you to be happy, baby. Just be happy, bro. Robert Allen says that whilst Hull are the better side, we haven't embarrassed ourselves.
No, we haven't embarrassed ourselves at all, and I think that will be the same. Like the scoreline could embarrass us if they do get 3 or 4. But I don't think the performance has been that bad. I just think we've been beaten by the better side. But Brandon Barker's got the ball, kept it in really well, trying to win a corner, does win a corner. Come on, Oxford, let's get a goal back.
Tom Eggleton says, got to say it's a deserved 2-0. Yep, pretty much. And Elliot Williams says Oxford have 3 stands. Tim Pot. Cool.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
No one's going to argue with that.
I can't argue with that.
Didn't need to say it, but there's no argument.
It's always a truthful comment.
Lucan says that he responded and said that he was happy as a Frenchman.
Oh, I do apologise. Then I haven't seen it. Then what did he say? He's as happy as what?
A Frenchman, whatever that means.
Oh.
I'm still waiting on my car. Barton Park in the Mosaic. Please park it outside at your convenience and tell me where the keys are.
He did say it would be a piece of Lego.
Yeah, well, see, this is when we know the man is just lying to us. In fact, Lucan, don't send me your car, but sign up to our Patreon because you're here every week. Just sign up to our Patreon. Throw us some support. We'd really appreciate it.
I'll still come forward and McGuinness is offside, and McGuinness.
Portsmouth Salford is still 0-0. I mean, this game's going to go on forever at this rate.
What time did they kick off?
I thought they were 3 o'clock kickoff, but I might be wrong. It might have only just kicked off.
I would have thought they might have kicked it off a little bit later than the 3 o'clock games. Right, cross from Shadipo. Good ball in.
Oh no, they kicked off on time
from Brussels, but Barker has got a chance to get a ball in, but he tries to beat one too many man again, and it's cleared away. And he had the chance to cross it in there, and he should have taken it. Tried to do too much, and Hull try and play a ball forward, but that's going to be Stevens' ball. But he can't. It doesn't go into the penalty area, and he can't take a risk, so he has to play it out for a throw in. Look, I remember. There's a couple of chances. I mean, in the first half. I mean, Sykes had a good chance with a good shot, which made Ingrams make a save. Brannigan made a mess of the rebound. Ruffles had a really good header, which made Ingram had a good save. There was Adji had half a chance right at the start of the game. So we've had chances in the game. We've had chances, and I think that we have at times looked pretty good going forward. And I still say Oxford have defended well against probably the best side I've seen Oxford play against. I don't think there's been anybody that's consistently caused us problems all the way through the game like Hull have, and it is unfortunately going to end with a disappointing result, and is going to be a lot of people who are going to overreact to this result, saying it's season over, saying things like we're not good enough to beat the best sides in the league, and yada yada yada.
So it is 75 minutes in the Portsmouth for Salford match. On top of that, the Salford manager called this match a hindrance, but said we'll still try and take it seriously. Okay.
Okay, just going to say Lewis Coyle collided with his own player there, and it looks like a pretty nasty head injury. He's down, he's not moving. It doesn't look good. So this could be a long stoppage in this one. He's literally gone up with Malik Wilkes, and they've collided heads, and he is out. It looks like he's out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Still not. Yeah, not
Fine.
good. This isn't good.
No.
Yeah, no. This is a really. This looks a serious injury. I'd be amazed if he carries on after this, because he you don't need to risk it. They're 2-0 up, and obviously if he's got concussion, you never need to risk it.
Yeah. Right. I will try and cover a couple things in the meanwhile. Elliot Williams, who had the comment about the 3 stand, says he's a Swindon fan. And he says, "We are awful, but well done in the derby. Oxford have the better and more passionate players and manager." That's a surprisingly nice statement. I like you, Elliot Williams. You can stay.
I don't think. The thing is about the derby was weird. I don't think. I really just don't really get what Swindon's tactics were in the derby. They didn't really play. I thought that in the second half they had in the first game. In that second half of the first game, they had a clear plan of how they were going to attack Oxford, and it worked. I just don't think they ever really got a grip of the game. And I know they had a chance of a penalty, but it felt like Oxford were in control for a lot of that match. And it just was a matter of whether they could take their chances, and eventually they just about did. But Swindon were poor, I thought, and I don't think they've done much today to ease the pressure on the manager and kind of like please their fan base with a terrible 3-1 defeat to Gillingham.
No. Jake Green says, "Oh well, onwards and upwards. Keep up the good work, lads." Hi, Jake. Thank you. Apparently, Lord Lucan says, if Oxford get promoted, I'll contribute heavily towards a 4th stand. Lord Lucan, just contribute heavily to our Patreon. Jeez. Joseph Billingsley says Salford have been the better team. Everything I'm reading is that Salford are just beating up Pompey right now. Like, just need a goal. What else have we got?
Pompey are odd, though, aren't they? Pompey are an odd side. They never. They just should be doing a lot better than they are. I know they're still kind of up there in the league, but I think they're massively underachieving under Kenny Jackett.
Yeah,
consistently playing with the handbrake off. And I compare it to like Hull, Pompey, very good side, but just about beat Oxford in what looked like in a very turgid game, right?
Yeah.
Hull have come and played Oxford in 2 games now, and I think in both games you can see that they've gone for it. They haven't like tried to contain. They haven't tried to be too cute. They've literally just, we're going to win this game by scoring more goals than the other team, and rather than just we're going to win 1-0 every week, which is what Ipswich and Pompey seem like they set up to do.
Yeah.
And what I can see, it's no surprise why Hull are top of the league and scored shitloads of goals.
Yeah. Charlton equalised against Shrewsbury. That happened a couple minutes ago. It's 1-1 now. Let's see what's going on our chat. Jonathan Harris is stirring shit, is the only thing I can say. He says, "Season over. You're not good enough to beat the best team in the league. Robinson out." I enjoy that.
I said there'd be one person to say that.
Well, and he's a Wickham supporter, so it's perfect. Elliot Williams says, "Swindon don't have tactics. We just hope the other team makes a mistake, and we can capitalize on it. We always get dominated home and away. We don't have clear passing patterns or a game plan. We don't play out at the back, and we always hoop it up, hoping Twine scores a free kick, or we can hope for a defensive mistake. We're a mid-table League 2 side, and I think we could, struggle in the division." I'm going to go out on a limb here, Elliot, and say that you're happy with how your season's
going? Do you think so? So I gather from that you're not you wouldn't be too sad if like Sheridan didn't carry on or anything like that. Do you want another change of manager, or do you think you need to give him time over the summer, regardless of whether you stay up or go down, to try and rebuild? And I'm going to say personally, from my point of view, I do hope Swindon stay up. I want Swindon to stay up, and because I want to have the Oxford Swindon derby.
I was going to say you love the derby.
Yeah, well, it's a especially because there'll be hopefully fans back next season, and it's one of those big games. I mean, from a revenue point of view, it's a full stadium for both sides, which is good too. Right, Hull into the penalty area again, and we're very lucky that Malik Wilkes has decided to literally not bring his shooting boots with him today. Every time he's got into a shooting chance, he's like ran past the ball or fallen over, and that's exactly what he did then. And Oxford bring the ball away, and I think I didn't see whether the Hull guy came off. I assume he did. Coyle, he walked off. He wasn't carried off or anything, which is good. He must have come off. He wouldn't have risked carrying on, surely. But it does. I mean, the referee, let's be quite honest, could blow up now. And
just to tie up the Elliot Williams thing, he goes, "Yeah, happy, best manager in the league." Next comment: "My nan has better tactics than Sheridan, and she's been dead for 5 years."
I mean, I wasn't trying to like stir shit or anything. I mean, I don't.
No, he's not
just
taking
generally whether you did think it's like just the squad's not good enough, or whether you if you gave him time he might improve things, or whether you just think he's not very good. And by the sound of things, you don't think he's very good.
Elliot Williams says Oxford vs Swindon is an underrated derby. Robert Allen agrees and says it'd be so much better with fans in the stadium.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter whether it's an underrated derby or not. It means a lot to both sets of supporters, and that's all that. It doesn't matter if anybody else knows it's a derby or not. It's a huge game for Oxford fans and Swindon fans, and no one else needs to care about it.
Yes, but we care about it, and that's all that matters.
Because we're Oxford fans.
Apparently, where is Oxford?
Well, I am an Oxford.
I don't know
Mississippi.
where Oxford is. Oh yes, Oxford, Mississippi, the great Oxford, home of the university. So Coyle's off, injured. There's 5 minutes of this game left?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to probably be 5 minutes of injury time, isn't there now? So 10 minutes left. Oxford have since going 2-0 down. I mean, they had a couple of half chances with some crosses, but have really done nothing. Yeah. And I think in this second half, generally, they've been quite poor. It's they just haven't been able to live with them. They haven't been able to live with Hull in this game. Hull have been way better, and I've said that loads of times already, but there's not much else for me to talk about, and I'm just kind of trying to fill some airtime. But Atkinson's running forward, a rare foray forward for him. He plays it to Adji. Adji squares it, and it's just defensively they've been solid as well, and they get back and they don't. That ball could have gone through to Taylor, but they get back and make the block. But Barker trying to wriggle free on the left-hand side, but all he can do is go back, and Hansons goes back, and Oxford miss-pass it and nearly present Hull with a chance to counter-attack, but they don't. And Barker has a chance now. He's one-on-one with Ruffles on an overlap. This is a chance for Ruffles to get a cross in. Got to be good quality. It's decent. Adji gets across his man and tries to something acrobatic. If that would have gone in, that would have been a special goal, but it falls easily for Ingram. And Wickham's favourite son can catch the ball quite calmly, but a little bit more intent there from Oxford, which was good to see. And still, if we can smuggle one in the net somehow, it could set up a bit of a grandstand. Finish, but it sounds like wishful thinking.
Right. I have to get some admin out of the way, so Ian, only shout if something actually happens now. When this match finishes,
Oxford are coming forward with Barker, and Barker's still got the ball on the left-hand side, and it does look like Oxford have. It's a throw into Oxford. Go for it, Tom.
When this match finishes, we're going to jump off air right away because we have to go record our reaction to said match, which you can check out in a couple hours' time after we finish the edits. Please, if you're enjoying the channel, look at all our links, our social media. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you all for being here. You make it so much more fun to watch the game and to hang out together. Can't say this enough. Please, guys, if you're enjoying this, go on to our Patreon and show us some support that way. Really appreciate it. We spend hours a week on this, so, every little helps.
I was shaking my head, not at what Tom was saying, but just because Matty Taylor, he's out fucking wide instead of being in the box, and then when he does cross it, it just loops into the hands of Wickham's favourite son.
And I will quickly go through all the comments that have been said thus far, because we do generally tend to miss a bunch of them, especially at the end. But Yesel Murrow says Oxford 1 goals. Oxford 1 goals, come on. Jonathan Harris is updating the score for people. Emmanuel Tamtakos says, come on, lads. And Jonathan Harris says, easy. Eze had a spell at Wycombe too. Interesting. Quite a few players have been through the Wycombe Wanderers. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Wycombe.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Ian, take us through the end of the game. What's happening?
I'm just interested to think, like, do you feel if Goran would have played, he would have been a big impact in this game? Or do you think that Robinson was right to leave him out? I don't think Hansen's been terrible. I don't really remember him doing that much, but I don't think he's had an awful game. But do you think that was the right decision? I don't know. I mean, I don't feel that he would have made a lot of difference. But as Tom says, you kind of do always want to play your best players in the big games. And
I'm not watching it, right? So I can't really comment. But it doesn't sound like Oxford haven't tried. It sounds like they've put in a pretty decent performance. And they have come up against quite possibly the best team in the league. So,
yeah. Again, I say I don't know if Goran would made a big difference in this. If he is kind of struggling a little bit, maybe it was best to kind of leave him on the bench, and then we can play him for the game against Doncaster, which I do think is a winnable game. Doncaster are not in good form at the moment. They are drawing 0-0 with Northampton, which is a terrible result at home for them.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a game, and I know we continue to struggle to score, but it's definitely a winnable game for Oxford. And I think then we've got Blackpool. So Taylor's made a nice little turn on the edge of the box there, plays a nice ball out, chance for a cross in. It's not a good cross again. It's cleared by Hull. It's been a bit of a story of the second half, particularly, is the quality from wide areas hasn't been very good. But I do think the game on Tuesday night's a more winnable game. I think it'll be a tough game, but one Oxford can certainly win. And I think Blackpool at home on next Saturday it's a winnable game. It's going to be a good game, I think, and I think it will be a lot more of an even contest than this game was, because it felt like, for the large part, Hull had much more quality.
They've been in control.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's almost like it is almost like you've played a side from a level above in a way, like the way they just look a little bit better at everything they do.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin White, what a great addition to a team in January. Yeah. Like, he was such quality for Oxford.
Look, there's still 9 minutes left in this game. We've gone into the 90th minute, and a lot of that's going to be for Coyle's injury. But 9 minutes have added on time, so we've still got a chance here as Barker runs forward, skins the player, cross into the box. It's poor again. I mean, he'd done the right decision with trying to hit it low, but I'm not sure if there's an offside. Looks like he's given an offside there. But again, the crossing is just not good enough, really.
9.
I mean, it's one thing when you're kind of like on the run and you're under pressure and all you can do is swing a ball in, then that's fine. But there's been so many opportunities where Oxford have had time to get their head up and pick a good quality cross.
Yeah.
And they never seem to do it. Right.
Yeah. Oxford fans, I know this is probably just boring as hell, but do you miss Gavin White? I miss Gavin White. Every game me and Ian used to go and watch when Gavin White was on the ball, we were like, he's playing a different game. Like, he was so much better than everyone around him.
Yeah. I do. Well, I mean, I think it's probably the obvious question, and he would have been a hell of an addition to this Oxford side.
Yeah. Not that Barker and Lee have been bad, but Gavin White coming back would have been great.
Elliot Lee's been a really good player, but if you'd have got Elliot Lee and Gavin White, like Brandon Barker's been excellent. But he's a guy that we've had to get fit. Yeah. Whereas you feel Gavin White could literally just come in and just been awesome from the start.
I feel like he's a gym rat as well. Like, I feel like he's probably just always fit, always running around. Barnsley have won again, by the way. They've beaten Bournemouth 3-2.
Wow. What a game. What a result.
Don't give Johnny Woodgate a job. Everyone in football knows that. Full-time, Palace 1, West Brom 0. I'm pretty sure that was my score prediction, just saying.
It absolutely was your score prediction, Thomas. It was not mine. I did 0-0.
Come on, the boys!
Yeah.
Thrash you for another week in Premier League.
Normal form resumes in that.
MK Dons 92nd minute go ahead against Accrington Stanley 3-2. Matt O'Reilly scored. Rochdale's full time. They've beaten Lincoln 2-1. Madness
Wow,
all over
really?
League One. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, Lincoln are home as well.
Honestly,
That's
I am astounded by that scoreline.
Yeah.
And again, that's something we have to look at and say results haven't been bad as Shadipo wins the ball on the halfway line and just tries to charge forward, but he's just crowded out by too many Hull players, and now they can come forward. And Shadipo doesn't give away a foul. Nice ball out by Jamie Hansen out to the right-hand side where I think that's Ford can run in, and it's blocked but behind for a throw-in, or is it a corner? It's a throw-in for Oxford. So, look, we still live in hope that we can create a shooting chance at least.
A scoring opportunity.
Yes. Just let's get a shot on target. I don't even think we've had a shot on target in the second half.
No, I think you're right about that.
We might have had one, but it's...
fans of the channel, next week, got Premier League predictions coming out on, I believe, is it Wednesday or Tuesday next week, Ian?
Thomas, it wounds me that you don't know. It wounds me.
So it's coming out on Wednesday.
You create and rigidly stick to the content planner.
I do create and stick to it.
Are we on FA Cup weekend next weekend?
I'm really worried we are, which means that we've got to record that soon. Oh, you guys have ruined my day.
There'll be in a random assortment of videos coming out. I know for a fact there'll be Champions League video coming out tomorrow, and an Oxford United versus Hull review coming out today. And you should go and check out Grandstand Bettors for the video that we did for them for bets for betting predictions that we've done for tomorrow's football. So go check that info out. We'll do some sort of review for Oxford versus Doncaster on Tuesday night as well. It probably won't come out till really late on Tuesday, and there'll be the usual content.
There's a video out every single day next week. Now that I think about it,
probably.
Yes, and we live stream next Friday. No, it's the week off.
No, week Friday. Yeah.
Bolton have won. Watford have just hit a 94th minute go-ahead goal, so no longer is Mick McCarthy the Cardiff Whisperer. He's now losing a game. Aha. Heats are out of this game. Match has gone to extra time in the Papa John's World Championships. Unsurprisingly.
Sorry, say that again.
It's gone to extra time. Yeah. In the Papa John's World Championship says. Oh, Ian, I'm really excited for the Atalanta Real Madrid game. I think Real Madrid.
A free kick. He's not given a free kick, and this is your chance, Tom. This is your chance. This is your chance to 3-0. It is. Oh my God, Oxford have come back and made it a block, and that was a real fuck up by a Hull. It was Wilkes to McGuinness, and all they had to do was just put a somewhat competent move together, and McGuinness could have had a free run in on goal, but they didn't, which meant he had to stop, which meant that Oxford got back. And I mean, credit again to Oxford there. They were cut open, but the players still had the effort and intensity to get back to try and stop Hull scoring another one. So they haven't given up. Oxford are not like... You can't, again, the effort's been there. The quality has not, unfortunately, been there again.
Jonathan Harris says, yes, I'm assuming that means Wickham have officially won their match. He says, let's go.
Here goes Barker, trying to do what he did against Swindon. There's a shot on target, but it is never going to be. Ingram could have saved that on one leg with a hand tied behind his back and blindfolded. It was that soft. But...
Really want
to see that, it was a shot on target. At least we can come away from this game saying we had shots on target in both halves.
Yes. John Harris says Wickham are a massive club. They are indeed. They are a big, big club.
Who are?
Wickham. Sorry, Wycombe.
Wigan?
Yes, Wigan. Yes.
Exactly. Oh, Wigan. Yeah, they're a pretty big club. I wouldn't say they're that big.
Yeah, huge. They're huge. They're giants in world football, my friend. Burton have officially won 3-0. God, that's the easiest win they're going to have all season. Kane Hemming scores a hat-trick after 30 minutes, and you just sit there and let the match finish. Kane! Ian, where's that put Burton in the table? Does that puts them still 10? They're 10 points behind Oxford, right?
More importantly, Tom, do you know what WWE's Kane is doing at the moment?
Selling insurance.
He is the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
No way. don't know if that's moved up or down in life.
He is a very incredibly intelligent guy.
Is he your man, Crushy? And be honest.
No, not really.
Ooh, Huddersfield won a match of football, 1-0 against QPR. Sorry, QPR.
And so this is this fucking hell, blow the whistle, ref, for fuck's sake. Do you have to play these extra minute and a half?
I think we're all ready for this game to end.
Well, you want another goal for Hull.
I do, but I'll also accept this just ending.
Well, you also do get a point for that. So.
Did you predict a draw?
Did you say Burton 3-0?
Yeah, probably.
I hope you didn't. I'm going to go check that now. Did I say what for what?
Did you say Newcastle Villa would be a draw?
No, I don't think I did. I think I said a Villa win.
Speaking of Granville, I just entered it, Tom, making a weird dinosaur
sound.
I
remember I said I was cheering on Watkins to get that second goal at the end.
Oh, yeah, and it went the other way.
Because I had Villa 2-0.
I'm pretty sure I had 1-0.
You had 3-0.
3-0. Villa without Jack Grealish are a little bit wayward.
They should have won. I mean, usually Villa are so good defensively that usually they're 1-0 up in a game, and that's pretty cut and dry for them.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't have. No, we both had 2-0 for Burton.
Copying me again. Should have gone 3-0.
I actually got the Swindon result right. Gillingham 3-1.
No way. You might actually win this week.
Oh, fucking hell. I do hope so. What? Can you read out the scores?
In what?
Right. That's it. We're going to end this stream. That is it, guys. Thank you I know Tom will do a send-off, but just from me, thank you very much. Tough result today, beaten by the better side, absolutely no question. You'll see our review on it at some point today, and but chin up. This is one of the hardest games we'll face for the rest of the season, and it's over. We'll move on to Doncaster on Tuesday night, and results have gone kind of our way today, so we're still right in the mix for the playoffs.
A genuine, really big thank you to all of you for joining in. A big thank you to Robert and Christina for super chatting us. A thank you to our Patreon subscribers, Grandstand Bettors and Matt Uranka, PJ Simpson, Matthew Bowden, and Pessimistic Brother Allen. Please, guys, if you enjoy these streams, etc., we spend hours a week on them. Please, just a little bit of support. It's the League One setting on Patreon. It's really cheap, but it makes it all worthwhile for us. We love you all dearly. We'll see you tomorrow for Champions League predictions. Bye.
Done.